It's not going to be that way. So as long as I know that's the top, all right, this is what we care about. So those are marked. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a little template. So, hey, look, they're the same size. Awesome. For the tabbing, you do 3 and then 2, 3 and then 2. And I'll show you what I mean by that. But what I will do, because if you don't set the tabs up right, then they're off skew and they look weird. So you either, my opinion, you either want them to be completely even or be dramatically off skew. Let me show you what I mean. So I don't have a practice one. So this is one that I did already. So you can see that the tabs, these are tab here too. So you kind of want them to be, and you might even get so anal that you want to make sure that they're the same width. I don't care. This is my grunge journal, so I didn't really care. But so you kind of want them to be even. And I'm sure that there's ones in here that are not even. This tape blends. See, like this is not even, and this bothers me. But again, because it's a grunge journal, I'm going to let it go. But that is why I'm going to make a template. Now, I don't want to have to measure 50,000 times, so that's what the template is for. And I just got this ruler that is the most helpful ruler for people like me that don't basically that have been failed by the American school system and don't know what all the different lines on the ruler mean, right? So like there's 8, 8 and a quarter, 8 and a half. I don't know what's between the 8 and a half and 8 and 3/4. I don't know what that is, but this is like this zeroed out thing. So what you do is what I do. I don't know if this is how you're supposed to use it, but I find, okay, so there's the 0 and this says 4 and this says 4. Oh my God, did I just find the center point immediately? I think I did. So I match up on each side. You want it to be in the same spot. So this is obviously 8 inches long. So there's a 4 here, a 4 here. This little 0, that is the middle. Okay, that's the very middle point. All right. And then for me, okay, so for this one, for the 3, I'm trying to think of the 3. See, I can't math. I'm going to have to go by vibe. So if I do, how big are you guys? These guys, so if that's the middle, I'm doing this cheating wise. Okay, so then this would be this guy. That would be for the 3. And then, oh, I don't know the answer to this question. Okay, so I'm going to try to do something a little bit wonky here. Okay, so if this, that doesn't even look even. I don't think it is. It is not. So what we've got here then for our template is I'm going to do about 1/2 inch from the top of the page, and it's a little bit more than 1/2 inch. So it's the little line to the left of the 1/2 inch mark, and that's going to be that tab. And then for here, dun, 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 that is where that one will go. And then for here is that. So what I have marked here, this is for the 3 tabs. Because you do 3 and then you do 2. And that is how this tab thing works. So I'm going to kind of go for feel here in the middle. I think that's about right here. And then the middle here. So this one is going to be the 2 tab. And then this one here and here is going to be the 2 tab. All right. So there's my template. Excuse me. So there's my template. And what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to tape it down. Okay, so this is the inside cover of here. So because I don't want the tabs to like be sticking out or be on the outside here, I want them to be in between these two layers. So I'm going to put the 3 tab. So we're going to do 1, 2, 3. Ugh, these are always so fun to undo. Okay, I'm going to undo a whole bunch just so that I can like kind of speed through this for you, and then I'll be right back. Okay, and looking at this, I realized I almost forgot a really important step, and that is to line up the hole with the front. So I'm going to ignore everything that's I've written on the inside of this piece of paper, and I'm just going to do it this way because I am. And it's my journal, and it's my video, and I will do what I want. So that's where the hole is going to go. And I'm going to do this and get this. Yes, we're happy with, let me check one more time. So it is going to be there. Yes, 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 okay. Can't believe I almost forgot that. It would have been quite the pain. All right. All right, so this will then go on here, and it will match up to that hole, and I'm gonna just give it a little tester. The again, the grommet is gonna go on the outside, and then this little guy will be right here, and he kind of got a little bit schmutzy, and that's okay because he will be covered up by the grom. And I'm going to just cut this a little bit. All right, so that matches up. Okay, we are good. Measure these guys out. So I'm going to do 3. So we're going to use our little template here. And this would be 1, 2, whoops-a-daisies. And then the 3 is down here. Okay. Oop, that's a little funky. And you can just put it wherever you want. I mean, if you want to measure and go halvesies, that's fine. You do you, boo. So then I'm going to flip this over. And this is where we will glue this cover down. And I'm going to do it right now. And the reason why is because I'm going to do the cover and I'm going to put the corners on and get that going while we do the book portion. So yeah, that'll work. So I'm going to glue this down. In this case, because it's the inside and because it's paper, I am going to use glue. That is not glue. I am going to use this regular glue here. Dun 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 dun. It's so fun doing this because I'm going back and I'm like, oh, I forgot to tell him this. I forgot to tell him that, because I'm not planned. I'm just kind of going. So I do hope that you don't mind my jumping around. And if you have questions, you can ask them in the comments. Okay, so get that nice and settled here. Make sure that your little guys line up. It's very important. And then also at this stage, I'm going to do the corners. And the reason why is because once the book is all together, it is really hard to maneuver putting the corners on. So I'm going to go ahead and pick my corners, and then I'll be right back. All right, so I've got 8 of these little guys because I like to put the cover protectors on all of the corners. So as you are creating your book, keep in mind that sometimes if you choose a larger corner protector, I lucked out because this is the one I knew I was going to use. If you choose a larger corner protector, it may hit your first tab. So be careful with that because I've done that a lot. So I'm going to go ahead and put these on. Let me bring my little glue over here. And these ones I don't think I'm going to need to open up. I think they're going to fit just great. So I've got this on. Let's see here. Yep, it fits just great. But I still am going to give it just a little pinch. Just for that extra added strength, I guess. The stay-on ability. Okay, see? And look, that's so cool. See? So cool. I've been waiting to use these ones. All right, so I'm going to do it from the back again. So I'm going to get you, pop you on. And if you want to do all different freaking ones, if you want to do different on the front versus different on the back, you do you. You do what you want to do. Because it's hard to find 8. I'm just saying, it's hard to find 8 to do. That's why I ended up having to buy, oh shoot darn. See, this is why I hate glue. See, it did this. Ugh. So I had to buy like 5 of these containers just to make sure that I could do 8. Okay. And then this guy here almost went the wrong way. Heard somebody yelling at me going, don't do it that way, Sheila. All right. Okay. Now, I'm not doing the back cover yet because I don't know what tabs, where I'm going to end up on the back cover. I don't know if I'm going to end up on 2 or end up on 3. So I'm not doing the back cover. Now, could I math it and figure out with all the papers that I have, will I end up on 2 or 3? Probably not, but you could, but I cannot. So I will suck it up later and just try to put all this together on the end zone of that. This isn't tight enough, so I'm gonna tighten it. I just saw it squiggle. All right. So we can start then now. You know what? We could do the grommet. I'm going to do it. I still need the instructions on the grommet because this little, where did it go? This guy I got. You have to have this like pointy nipple portion be different than that. So I have to keep the instructions out because they tell me which end is up. So for this guy, we're going to put the nice side outside. And then we're going to grab, it looks like a washer, I guess. Oh, see, they're so thin, I didn't even get one. It was like magical. All right, so there are 2 sides to this. I don't think it matters which side, but push it down as much as you can, okay? And then the little nipple portion is gonna need to be in here. I hope you can see it. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. It doesn't reach. It doesn't reach. All right. Okay. It's all right. We're going to do something else. You know what? These guys. Oh my gosh. These guys have the other end. This is the pokey holy and this is the grommet setter. Okay. I'm going to try it. Let's see if it works. Whew, let's see if it works. 1, 2, pull it hard, go. Okay, let me do it again. It worked. It worked. It worked. Oh my God, this tool saved the day. Rock on. Okay. Now there's a little schmutzy here. I'm going to be okay with that because I've got really wide string that I'm going to put in here, or wide thread to close it, so it shouldn't be visible. Also, keep in mind that these books are blank, so I'm selling them so that people can go in and do their own stuff and things with them. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited that worked. Okay, so I'm just going to start pulling pieces, and what I actually do as well is I use this, I've got just a piece of paper, or excuse me, a piece of cardboard that I put down between each piece of paper to give it a little bit of space, because if you lay it down here like this and then you pull this tab up and you make it like super tight, first of all, the book's not going to open, and second of all, there's no room to put anything in, okay? So I'm going to lay down here. Now I've got 3 tabs up, so I know that my next is going to be 2 tabs. So I'm going to put 2 tabs in the spaces where we've marked for 2. There's, gosh, I'm like shaking. I've had too much coffee and no food. There's 1. And this one is 2. And then you just come and you flip it upside down because all the stickies will always need to be up. I'm going to use my little spacer here so that I've got room. La 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 la. And then since I just did 2, I'm going to bring up the 3. And again, I'm not going to do it like super tight because I want it to be able to grow. So I'm just kind of doing it nice and loosey-goosey. This is permanent tape. If you want to do some glue to also make it a little bit stronger, you certainly can. Okay, so then there's my first page. So now it is nice and hidden here underneath the cover. And there's my first page. Oh, shoot darn. Come back, little fella. Don't stick there. All right, so now I just did 2, so now I got to do 3. Come on. Cool. So I mix it up to my template, and then I do 3. 1, ack. 2, 3. Add my little spacer here. Flip this over. Make sure that, like you kind of want to use this also to kind of line up where you're at. Make sure that you've got it cool. And then, wait, sorry. I messed up. Because I just did 3. Ack. I got to pull up the 2 because this is the page that's below it. So 1, 2. There we go. I wanted to check in and talk a little bit about the tape because I have to peel some more pieces, and I thought I'd share with you what I learned on these things. So I've only used fabric tape. Okay, not fabric tape. Tape made of fabric, like the Tim Holtz stuff. Is that his name? Tim Holtz? Jim Holtz? Well, whatever. It's fabric tape. I'll put links in the description because it has a little bit more stretch to it, and also it is stronger. So don't use washi tape. I mean, I'm sure washi tape has its place, and I have a bunch of washi tape. I know it's decorative, but it's not going to hold these pages together. So you need a permanent tape to do so. If you want to glue these down, like I said, you can. And then also, again, this is not a tutorial, but a lot of the tutorials I watched, they cut their tape at 2 inches. And I have found that 2 inches is too long because it then comes in. Now, this is for an art book. If you're doing something else, maybe it's cool. But it goes too far in. So these are 1.5 inches. And these already kind of overlap the art quite a bit. So, again, use your judgment on how you want to do it, and don't get too caught up in all of the minutia details, because you're going to find your own way, and you're going to do things your own way, the way that they make sense to you and the way that makes you happy. like the way that I do these pages and do the grommet on front, that was something that I figured out through trial and error over and over again. I didn't see any videos where people were doing the grommet. I saw a lot of people that used like elastic string to kind of cover it, and then they took it off. I mean, there was all these different ways, and in my head I was like, well, this is kind of what I want to try. And then I want to try this magnet thing. I want to see how that works, using the magnet tape. And so then I did that. So don't be afraid to try and screw up, because literally, oh gosh, I would say I did 8 of these before I actually made my first real one, which was the grunge book. And I just used my scrap papers, and I used, Amazon boxes, which is what I'm using here anyway. And I just kept trying. And then I would look at it and study it and figure out what worked and what didn't. And at first I was being diligent and like taking notes. And then I was like, nah, whatever, I'll figure it out. So, do what works for you. Always, always, always do what works for you. I put a lot of thought into these, and I put a lot of love into these, because my hope is that someone somewhere along the line will purchase them, and then they will put their art inside. And that's pretty exciting to me, that, like, a piece of me will be with someone else's art. I don't know. It sounds kind of cheesy, but that's just kind of the way I feel about that. In certain places to make things stronger, because I figure since I'm selling these and people are going to put their own art in them, I want to make sure that they can open and close and open and close and open and close and not fall apart. So I do my best to reinforce. Actually, I'm going to go get it and show you. I'll be right back. So it's this guy. So this is an accordion binding. And usually when you see people do the accordion binding, they don't have this tape here. But I did add this fabric tape here because of the cardstock. The cardstock tends to split. At least that's what I have found. And so I reinforced it there. And then I reinforced on the inside all of these little spaces, because again, cardstock tends to start splitting. So if I reinforce it with this black tape, well, then it's going to be a lot stronger as people are opening and closing and adding their own art and showing off their own art. So those were the areas that I have reinforced based upon what I learned. I even reinforced the back cover here based upon what I learned from my prototypes. And see, this also has the edges on it to protect. And I freaking just love this journal so much. Okay, I think the next time I do this, I am going to take the back off of the tape first and then lay it down on my cutting board and cut with it, with this back off, because in that way I can just do one strip and take it all off at once, because this is taking for bloomin' ever. I actually even broke down and counted how many pages I had left. I have no idea how many pages are going to be in this book. I just always say, oh, I want to make, like this was a pastel with numbers and letters, and then I just kind of go for it. I don't really see how many pages are going to be in there. But oh my God, I needed like 25 more of these things. I even mathed, you guys. I mathed. And I don't want to math. So yeah, I need 25 more of these, and it's taking forever. So I think that next time, like I said, I'm going to just put them, undo one and scoosh it, and then I'm just going to peel them off. That's the way it's going to be. So another tip, another helpful tip from me. Yeah, from me to you. Well, okay. So this is my last piece of paper. And I'm going to pop this down, and then I'm going to, oops, I need my thing here. I'm going to do the 2 tabs and pull them up and get this last piece of paper bound. This did take forever, but I think it is worth it, at least to me, because I don't want to learn how to do the sew binding. I mean, that's a whole other craft area and a whole other like money that I don't have right now. So yeah. So here is the inside cover. Okay, this is what it's going to look like. So I know that I want these tabs to go in between here, right? So I'm going to come up here and I'm going to fold. Let's make sure that this is even with what's underneath here. So, okay. So I'm going to fold these tabs in. And then the fun part is gluing the back cover on here. Okay, so again, I'm going to just pop a little bit of printer paper here, just so that if it zhooshes or squirts, it won't get everywhere. So because this is paper, this is going to be a glue moment. So I'm going to glue here. The grommet holes are lined up, and that will help me ensure that my paper is lined up. I'm going to push down a little bit here. Make sure everything is good here. You know what? I think that this tape, I think it's too tight. So I'm going to pull back a little bit. There we go. I'm going to do that here too. Better to do it now than before it dries. I put the tape on too close. There we go. That's better. And I need to do my corners, which is a little bit more difficult when the book is together, but that's okay. Maybe I will luck out this time around. Just a little bit of glue, just a little, just to give it that extra added support. I'm going to glue all these on first, and then I'll go back and kind of tighten them down a little bit. Okay, so far so good. Maybe practice does pay off. Holy buckets. Okay, now before I squeeze them down, I'm going to take a look at the inside and make sure that, like, this one is not quite over that piece of paper. So I want to make sure that it's over it, if need be. And then, so you're cool, so I'm going to squeeze you down. And you're cool, so I'm going to squeeze you down. You're not quite cool. Get that paper in there. There you go. Squeeze you down. There you go. There you go. All right. So, oh, and now we got to do the grommet. I am so glad I realized that my little happy tool that does the holes also will do the grommet. That's awesome. Oh, whoops-a-daisy. Okay. Nope, other way. There is a smooth edge on these guys. So, okay, nice and flat. Don't steer me wrong, little grommet guy. Cool. What's in there? Nice and soft. Good. On the outside. Nice. So, let's finish up. Okay, so I got the thread through. I needed to cut it in half because it didn't want to fit. I used another one like that before and it did fit, so who knows why. But you just untie, and then I did it to where it would stay. So I've got little knots on the inside of here and a little knot on the inside of here. You can cut it down if you want. I might just do it just a little bit. There we go, just a little. But it does help camouflage where the paper ripped a little bit, so it's really not, to me, a big deal. So I am going to, I haven't gone through this yet, so I'm going to go ahead and go through it. I don't know, I think this is really cool. I really like the way this thread looks with it. So, okay, I'm nervous to go through it. I hope it turned out okay, because I'm going through it with you.